What's up everyone, Eric John here for another exciting YouTube video. So today I finally got in the parts to fix the Subaru. So I have the rear end links in, and then I have a new 25mm Perrin rear sway bar. So we're going to be doing that install. But before we do that, I'll show you the parts real quick. Let me walk over here and grab the first thing, and I'm going to walk back over here and do a little unboxing. But again, let me show you what I have for the project today. So I'm going to spin you guys around and show you everything that I have. Alright, so the first thing that I have are the Kartboy Rear Endlinks. I got these off a vendor off of the forums for, I think it was $100 shipped, so I got a good deal on those. But as you can see, here's the stock rear end link compared to the Kartboy. It's pretty ridiculous. So as far as the length's basically the same, but as far as the width of these things, definitely a lot more beefier with the Kartboy end link. So hopefully that'll prevent the failure. If you can see, I mean, these things right here snapped completely in half. So the other one isn't in that much better shape. It's still in the car. I haven't taken it off just yet, but that'll be the next thing I do, is just get the other one off. But basically this one, what happened was the sway bar rolled over and the end link just couldn't take it and just flexed, I guess, too hard, and it snapped. So those are these ones, yeah, those are gone. So these will be put in their place. And again, obviously these are made out of aluminum, a lot beefier. I may have a little bit more harshness, maybe a little bit more noise, but again, I really don't care about the ride quality so much as it performing well. So I'm really looking forward to get those thrown on. So besides that, again, the other thing I have here, back it up, it's nice little Perrin packaging. It's the 25mm rear sway bar. There's two settings on it. One a little bit stiffer than the other. I think one of them was like 316% stiffer than stock. The other one's like 400 and something% stiffer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the stiffest setting, see how that feels. And if I need to adjust it, I can always just get into the car, and it's really just swapping out bolts and pushing it back. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and unbox this. I'm going to go ahead and start that up here in a second. Just get my knife out and go to town on this box. So, alright, so I'll go ahead and show you guys what you get in the box here. So let me go ahead and around this way for you. Actually, might not even need my knife. Go to the side. So it's nice paper there, and I can see it. Awesome. So pulling it out here for you guys to see. Nice. Well, that's pretty sweet. Got another license plate frame. Pretty sweet. That, and in there it looks like there's the two bushings, the sway bar bushings. Got that, and a little bit of grease. I don't know if you can see the focus on that one. There it goes a little bit. Yeah, those are the two rubber bushings that go on the sway bar, and then there's a little packet of grease in there, and then a license plate. And that's what I was showing you there. If you can kind of see in the picture, I don't know if it'll zoom or focus there. It's kind of hard to shoot behind, but anyways, it shows the different settings versus softer versus stiffer. But I'll go ahead and do that in a second here. You pull the rest of this out of the bag, and then I'll take a shot over it. And that's definitely heavy duty. So here's the 25mm sway bar. Nice red color, it's pretty sweet, match everything else that I have under the hood. And again, that's gonna be paired with my Kartboy end links there. And then I get over here, I got the two bushings. Those are the rubber bushings. Try to focus it here, pull back. But those are the two rubber bushings that go on the sway bar, and then there's a little packet of grease in there. So then I got a little sweet little Perrin license plate bracket, which actually I threw my old one away because I got pulled over for it, but hey, you know what, I might as well throw this thing back on. But I'm gonna go ahead and get under the car, and hopefully it won't take me too long, but I'm gonna get, oh, light's a little messed up, sorry about that guys. But I'm gonna get underneath the car, pull off the rest of the sway bar. I put some PB blaster on the bolts, so it should be good now. There's basically two bolts on each side. I'll go ahead and see if I can show this to you real quick. Let me walk over here in my car. I have the light on, so it should be able to see underneath there. But underneath, let me get on my back here. So right back, and of course it's dark. Let me see if I can get my light a little bit better. Shine it over here on this side. So right, let me see if I can get it on there. So there we go. So there's the bolts right there. There's one there on the top left. Then there's one on the right, and then on the other side of the muffler there, that one's a lot easier accessible. There's nothing there, but it's right on the other side. Let me see if I can slide under there and show you guys. See right there. So, and that's the other sway bar bracket. So there's two bolts there. Unbolt those. I'm going to remove the sway. There's the other bracket there, which the Endlink you can't really tell, but it's bent. You can kind of see there's a little spot in the middle, but that's where the metal is fatiguing. So that was probably going to break as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get these off real quick and then continue the video. I'll show you guys the difference between the stock bar or sway bar and then the OEM one. And then I'll start putting everything together, maybe walk you guys through a little bit. Alright guys, and real quick before I start tearing everything apart here, just real quick, what you need to have is you can get 12mm wrench. These are the 12mm ratcheting wrench from Harbor Freight. So I have 12mm socket, or excuse me, 12mm wrench, 14mm wrench, and then I have a 14mm socket and a 12mm socket and just standard wrench there. And then as far as getting the bolts off, or excuse me, back on and tighten to spec, I just have my Pittsburgh Pro torque wrench here. So basically what you want to do is after you have everything off and put back together, obviously just loosen them until you get everything lined up where you want it to be. But the Endlinks, you're going to torque those down to 35 foot-pounds, and then the 12mm bolts that hold up the bracket, those go to, according to the instructions here, are going to be 20 foot-pounds. So should be an easy job. I'm going to go ahead, again, get under the car, get the other sway bar out, and I'm going to pull the two together here and give you a comparison, like side by side of the old sway bar and the new one. Alright guys, so I'm back real quick. So that was not as hard as I thought it was, but at the same time, it wasn't that easy. So the one bolt, it was 12mm bolts that hold on the bracket to the sway bar, but for some reason my Endlink, I don't know if they're aftermarket or what the heck they are, but it was actually a 17mm bolt to get those off, which, quick tip on those, let me grab one of these old ones here. So let me see if I can get it without being on my face. How about a frame? So right there, to get the nut off, there's a little tip on the end. You can grab that with a pair of pliers, or else it'll spin in the joint there. So you can just grab the actual thread with a pair of pliers to get the nut off those, but that's the quick pointer. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. Get back my face. Pain in the butt back there to get that off. Also, one other thing I was going to show you guys when we walk around the car here real quick. So again, yeah, sorry about the light. I'm filming. It's pretty dark outside, but I took the, I believe that's like a vapor canister or something like that. There's 3 bolts. There's 2 on the back, 1 up front to get that off. Down there, I have a swivel socket. It's also a 12mm, but taking that down, you don't have to take it all the way off, but just taking it down, there's flexible lines that go to it. So it's easier just to kind of put it out of the way. That way you can pull out your sway bar. But to get the sway bar off, it's real easy. You just fish the thing out, and then I'll put the brackets on the new one with the new bushings, and I'll fish it right back in. So nothing too crazy. Back over here to the sway bar. So as you can see, the difference between the stock and the Perrin, pretty big difference. I mean, the Perrin, the weight of the Perrin one is just, I would say, at least 4 times as heavy as the other one. I mean, it's solid. And then the other sway bar, the stock one, like I said, pretty flimsy compared to this one. But what I'm going to do is take those 2 brackets off, swap those on to the Perrin. I'm going to go ahead and grease up. It's real easy. Like on these, on the new ones, I'm going to pull out the new bearings, which are back there in the plastic still. But what you do is just grease up on the inside here of the rubber. Make sure that's nice and lubed up. And then you just pop the bracket on. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. Hopefully it won't take me that long. But again, there's the 2 here. And I'll get a shot of it on the car. Oh, but actually, hold on one second. And then before I do that, so on here, sorry, I'm gonna get out of the way. So this would be your softer setting, and that's gonna be your more firm or stiffer setting in the back. So I'm gonna set mine to the rear for the stiffer, and then if we want to, we can put it to the front, which again, I'll make it a little bit softer. So at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then get you guys back in for the wrap up the video. All right, guys, quick update. So I was finally able to get the rear sway bar in. Definitely was not hard, but doing it by myself was a little bit harder than I thought. So what I ended up doing is on each side there's a stud, and then you actually get a bolt. So you actually, what I did to make it easy was I went ahead and placed it, kind of used my muffler or my piping, my exhaust piping kind of to help. Put a towel so anything wouldn't get scratched up or marred up, but I sat it over the muffler after I fitched it in, and then what I did was I was able to put up the passenger side, use the stud, line it up, go ahead and just loosely put the nut on that side, went back to the other side, put the nut on it once I had it up against the stud, and was able to secure the bracket that way, because it was still a pain in the butt to put the screws in, I'm not going to lie. Everything on the Subaru, everything is at an angle, it seems like underneath. It was the same kind of problem whenever I was putting the bushings, or at least the shifter bushings, a while back. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and throw the end links on. I'll walk you through and just show you kind of what it looks like right now, and then I'll get those end links on and be done with this thing. Alright, so underneath, there she is. So looks pretty clean under there. Well, not clean, but as far as the the install, it looks. But back over here again, here's, I don't know, there's the brackets right again behind that exhaust canister. But if you take that off, it makes it a lot easier to get to. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the end links on. But there's the sway bar underneath currently. I'll be back in a few. Alright guys, so that one's all done. Took a little bit longer than I thought. As far as getting everything lined up, that wasn't really hard. It was just getting everything, well, I guess you could say getting everything just perfect. I can be a perfectionist sometimes, but I'll go ahead and show you what everything looks like underneath. I got the Kartboy Endlinks installed. I'm sorry about the lights and get dark here because it's dark outside. I only have like a little bit of a light, so I'm gonna go a little dark for a second. So actually, this isn't that bad. I mean, it's completely dark outside, and this is the light literally off my garage, which really isn't that bright. So this lens is pretty awesome. But again, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around, show you guys underneath the car real quick. So, there, as you can see, there's the completed deal. And if you bear with me, I'll slide the camera over to this side so you can actually see the end links. Which, even those are the Kartboy end links. It says in the Perrin install that the end links, I think, are 14mm, which that's incorrect, at least on my setup. Mine were actually a 17mm. So again, it's 17mm for the end links, and then for the bolts for the bracket to the sway bar, those are 12mm. Again, that's probably the hardest thing, is just getting the brackets, that one actual bolt, that one right there, to line up. It's a pain in the neck. Unless you have two people. So I mean, if you have two guys, I mean, you could probably knock this out in like 30 to 45 minutes. If you're by yourself, I would say double that, just because it is kind of hard to line everything up by yourself. As far as the end links, I did lower the car on my ramp, so it is under load. You're supposed to tighten those under load. So I got the ramps on both sides. Just jacked it up from the rear diff. I got a piece of wood over there. But anyways, I jacked it from the rear diff, and then slid my ramps underneath. So I'll jack it back up and go ahead and button everything back up. But again, on this side, I didn't say it initially, but go ahead and take off this canister right here, which again, there's two bolts in the back, and then one kind of in between the lines, which it's not really that hard. You just take the bolts out, set it aside, and that actually gives you access to the bracket, or the sway bar bracket, which is right there. You can see the bottom, see that kind of the goldish looking piece. And then on this side, sorry about that, there's the end link on the other side. So it's a little bit out of focus. I should manual focus. I still have it on auto, but anyways, that's the job. I did the end links to the outside. I've seen people put them on the inside, which if you guys want to comment below what the big difference is between the two, it'd be nice to know. But all the diagrams that I saw online had all the end links, at least in the install on the outside, like I have it. So, but again, I have it set in the stiffness setting. Wasn't that hard of a job. Again, it took me about an hour and a half, give or take a few minutes. But again, that was just because I was having an issue getting the bracket to line up. So until the next video, though, I don't know how long it's going to be. It might be another week or so. I'm going to try to get out this weekend, maybe do some filming. But until that next one, guys, take it easy.